if this is in the shot. I just need to read. I appreciate all of you here. And I wish you a happy Saturday. And of course, I get an ad. I know you're all laughing right now because, yeah, it's probably annoying you. But I'm wearing my uniform, my old MustangMedic uniform. When I wore it religiously when I was working on Ford Mustangs and produced 8,000 videos online. That's why I've got an 8,600 now. Most of them are working on Ford Mustangs, and I always wear this shirt, and it fits me now. It's proof that I'm losing weight. Okay, I put this on when I was in DC, and it was all stretched around my belly, and I was like, "What the heck?" I haven't worn it since, and after 3 years, I finally lost the weight. I'm very proud. I'm not going to get up and show you my belly though. Okay. We've got some videos. We got some videos in the can, as they say, and we have one about RFK Jr. again. Very interesting stuff. And oh, I see. I can read right now, and I don't have to look at the camera. I'm really happy about that. Missed you. East Palestine MAGA. Yo. Oh, it was an event yesterday. I'm sorry. I'm not doing much traveling right now, as you guys know. We're just starting up, so never hate small beginnings, as they say. So I'm basically, I laugh that I do this on videos. Nobody does it. I have no car. You know what I mean? I'm like going, all right, God, am I supposed to keep doing this? With the recent view counts, I'm like going, the videos are much better. And I know it sounds egotistical because I'm producing them with Mario's help, but the videos are good. The content's much smarter than it was when I was in DC. DC, like I said, was like la 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 la. Oh, there's the Washington Monument. La 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 la. I'm at the White House. I'm at the White House. I'm at the White House. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. I was doing that, by the way, just to take people out that were lying about what was going on at the White House. So I did a lot of videos where nothing was going on. Good morning, Danielle. Daryl. Good morning, Daryl. Sorry, man. Hello. You guys, if you got a question for me, because I know you can always super chat. Don't get me wrong. I always appreciate that. But you can also put in all caps question, and I'll look at that. I really want to try to focus on questions. We're doing 2 live streams this weekend. We're doing 2 live streams next weekend, and we're experimenting with it because the live streams seem to be more popular than the video content, which I still haven't figured that out. If you can tell me why you think that is, and if I don't answer your chat, you'll know that you're going to answer later because I walk through. I lay at night texting on my phone and answering everybody after the chat. We are totally in a whole new learning curve right now. And it's almost like, it really feels like a whole new beginning, a whole new start, a new chapter, if you will. A lot of people want me to write a book because of the craziness I've been through in my life. Maybe someday I'll share that. Maybe I'll share that tonight. I'll do that. I'll give you a brief background. I have to be careful around my divorce and everything, but I'll give you a background tonight about my life and what's led it up to this moment. Hopefully you're interested. We'll know, but tonight. But it does feel like a brand new chapter because Barry and I are looking at trending, what's going on trending. I'm investigating stories, as you know, for, with multiple browsers, and then I'm reporting it. And the videos, I think, tell me if you agree. I'm assuming you do because you're on this live stream, but I think they're a lot better, and they're breaking stories, like the one about Michael Johnson. See, the brain's kicking in. I actually did one of those energy shots, Mario. I couldn't, the coffee makers, I had got 2 coffee makers, one as a gift, actually 2, they're both gifts. They both broke down. So no coffee, no bueno. But I took one of those energy drinks. Mike Johnson said, and if you hadn't seen the video, it's important, that he gave a 1-page document about a security concern about Russia with, wanting nuclear weapons, which they have a bunch of nuclear weapons. Why this is a big deal, I don't know. But he mentioned it, and the press just totally glazed over it. Why? Why did the press glaze over that fact instead of focusing on, wait a minute, The Biden administration's had this for 4 weeks, count them, 4 weeks. And now it's a headline story. Again, the mainstream media does the same thing as the new media. I call this the new media, which we are. And they say, oh, disease X, 20 million people are going to die. They get views. Ta-da! That's what they want. Mainstream media, nuclear weapons, Russia wants them. Oh, right after Tucker Carlson interview, by the way, which they weren't happy with at all, which was why I love Tucker and why you probably love Tucker. Tucker Carlson and Elon Musk are giving me hope again that we'll be able to continue to do this format. And YouTube's been very kind to us, I have to say. There haven't been many videos that have taken hits, but the ones that we have taken hits on and we talked to them, they've reversed their decision so far. We're batting like, well, it's 95%. I don't know how the whole batting thing, not batting 1,000, but we're batting 900, I guess is what you'd say if you're into baseball. All right, so what I'm going to do, because I'm sick and tired of squinting, Mario thinks I shouldn't get LASIK. I think I should, just because I can't stand glasses. Time to watch. Hello, Missouri Farm Truck. You're back again. I appreciate that. I appreciate your loyalty. Top of the day, Mustang. Good to see you. Good to see you. Actually, do I see you really? You know what I mean. Mention RFK Jr. denied protection. Oh, yes, that's what the video is about. The video is about him being denied protection. And you know what? It's interesting. What I did was I showed a promotional video of him. You know what? Maybe I'll launch that today instead of waiting till Sunday. Yeah, I'm going to wait till Sunday because we're doing 2 live streams today. I don't want to overdo it in one day. I used to do 5 videos a day, but I'm cutting back. I'm trying to be prudent, if you will. But I expect to take a hit, or I'm going to say wig as we're all in this together. I expect to take a hit because I show anything positive about someone else that's in politics. Maybe not, Matt Getz. I didn't take too many hits, but we'll lose like 4 subscribers every video. I'm like going, what is going on here? It's like, with the content and everything, I'm like, how is this happening? And I truly think, we go back to my Christian faith. I truly think it's an attack of the devil. It's not about the content. I think the devil wants us to stop. Okay. That's my point of view. If you hate MustangMedic, the idea of it, you'll agree with the devil, but I don't. Darn the devil to hell. Did you guys ever see Bedazzled? The movie Bedazzled, I recommend it. It's great. Elizabeth Hurley and Mike Myers. Like Tulsi Gabbard, I had a crush on Elizabeth Hurley. I think a lot of people did. Okay. Oh, Rebecca, you're going to make me blush. Thank you very much. Brother from near Jerome. Morning, handsome brother from near Jerome State, 48. Would love to hear about your background. I'm new to the channel. Hey, welcome, Fallen Gorgon. Tell me how you're new to the channel, how you found out about us. It's always very valuable to me to know what's happening. Part of it is because I'll give you a quick background. I started January 6th. I got to DC, started January 6th. I'll go into detail about how I ended up at that point tonight. There's a teaser so you come back, okay? Full transparency. Carl Stewart from England, UK. That's so cool. Carl, what's going on? I'm actually going to ask more of you guys questions than you ask me. What is going on in the UK? Is it as bad as it is, or is it just the media playing it up that it's that bad? It seems like when I look at the UK news that you guys are being inundated with migration and basically just being taken over by a different culture that will not assimilate to yours. I'm assuming that you haven't come. Who knows? Maybe you're a migrant. I don't know. You can tell me. I don't know why I'm assuming that you're anything that would migrant or not. Daryl, talk going on about giving Nikki Secret Service protection, but no, not JFK Jr. Daryl, watch the video. It's brief, but watch the video tomorrow. And again, it's JFK Jr. Wait a minute. I always mess up his numbers, his letters. RFK, thank you. RFK Jr., he questions the jab and everything that went on about that. Of course, the media attacks him for that. Democrats attack him for that. Our point of view is, it's just a control factor, and people wearing the mask for, obviously you could see who believed and who didn't believe. And I've gotten, I don't want to say the word. I have to be very careful. I've gotten it 3 times. You guys know what I'm talking about. I've gotten it 3 times, and please don't text it in the chat. Keep an eye on that, Mario. But don't say it. So you don't. I mean, only remove the chat. Don't remove the person, Mario. Don't go crazy. Mario he loves looking for trolls. He just loves it. But I've gotten it 3 times now. What am I? I'm 59. 59 years old. I was 21 yesterday. I got it 3 times. It was like the flu, a lot of congestion, got some cold sweats, had some weird skin things that were like making my whole body feel like it was going to sweat. That was unusual for being sick. But I got it 3 times. I was fine. I mean, if you're compromised and you've got, some serious illnesses, it could take you out. And, it goes right back to the whole population control thing and how much it's planned. Unfortunately, I think that we don't know. I know some of you know this. I think we don't know 95% of what's going on. We're just scratching the surface here where we are. I did make contacts and still have them in Washington, D.C., even with the Secret Service, which is pretty cool. Oh, some people were saying that they don't see Secret Services dressed up in uniform. There's a division of the Secret Service uniform division. And then there's a version of the Secret Service. The Secret Service wear the suits, and they are around the president, getting him in the car, getting him in the Beast, which is the nickname of his limo, and walking him around, the White House and stuff like that. Watch The American President. It's actually pretty accurate, that movie. I'm doing a lot of movies. I'm feeling very Hollywood today. Maybe it's the shirt. But the uniform division is on the outside. They're all cruising around the White House, and the security is intense because my Secret Service friend made me aware that there was another person that was close by the White House. I can't say the person's name, but what he told me was that they know he's here because he was 3 blocks away where he parked his car, but they don't know where he is. I'm like, that was like a light bulb moment for me. I'm like, wow, they got cameras like 3 blocks, who knows how many blocks out of the White House. And they're scanning all the license plates, and there's obviously a control center somewhere near the White House that knows when you pull in. Now, hopefully that information is not. I just hope that I just didn't say something that's going to get this. Anyway, that's what's going on. Sometimes when I expose too much of what I know, it gets me in trouble online. So it sounds like such a tease, but it's true. So anyway, they are aware. And when I was actually filming, I had a hunter scope, right? It was when Lafayette Park is on the Pennsylvania Avenue side. Pennsylvania Avenue is really kind of confusing. It comes from the Capitol, and then it stops, and then all of a sudden it moves over, and then it goes in front of the White House. So it kind of stops, goes a block, and then keeps going in front of the. It's not in front of the White House. I'm doing a deep dive on the White House. They never say the front or the back of the White House. And the reason they do that is when foreigners visit that are in leadership, they don't want to ever feel like they're going in the back door. So they never talk about the front or the back. Back to the scope, the hunter scope. So I get a hunter scope, right? I set it up. Lafayette Park's fenced off. This is during the jab and all the restrictions. And I aimed it through the fence, and I had it on the door of the White House because I wanted to video President Biden. Yes, I do sometimes call him Biden, but again, I have a respect for the office, not for the man. That's right now the situation. That's why I always call President Trump. Biden, I struggle with it, but I'm trying to be diplomatic because when he gets in again, praying, everybody's going to be like, oh, Trump, because that's what the mainstream media does. They disrespect him. So I'm trying to be magnanimous. I'm trying to show that we can show respect for the office. But boy, has Biden ruined the country. We all know that. I'm staying focused. At least I'm remembering. You guys don't have to remind me. I got the scope on the door. I'm looking at the camera. The camera's hooked up to the scope, and I'm looking through the camera, and I'm looking that way, and I look up, and there's a scope on me. But instead of it being a camera like I have, it's a rifle in the roof of the White House. What they do, again, I guess I can share this stuff. Whenever somebody that's important gives out of the White House, they always put some snipers on the roof. That's a guaranteed. So he was coming out, so the snipers were there, and they're aimed at me. I shot video of it. That got taken down because I was showing the snipers. Part of the challenge is a lot of things that I know that I report on get taken down because they're not supposed to be reported on. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge to do this. By the way, I appreciate all of you that are here. We are growing. It's like pushing a boulder up a hill right now. It's called The Tipping Point. There's a book called The Tipping Point. It's a good book. I recommend it. Oh, this reminds me. Dun, 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 big announcement. We are now on Amazon. And how you can support us, if you don't want to send a donation through Super Chats or through the website, which you can, of course, you can basically just simply go to the store, which I'm going to put a link on the website, of course. Mary, we'll have to talk about that. Should we put it on the donation page or just in the main page? We'll talk to our secret man we don't know his name, and he doesn't want anybody to know his name, but he saved our MustangMedic name in Telegram when I did the videos of the buses. And because of this day, because of him, we are called MustangMedic on Telegram. And there's a chat group, MustangMedic Digital Soldiers. If you guys are on Telegram, it's a great place to talk. Back to, drop my glasses. Uh-oh, hang on a second. Back to Amazon. If you click on Amazon and you just simply look at one of the products through our link, our portal, everything that you buy on Amazon after that for 24 hours supports us. So it's not costing you anything, but it's a way of supporting MustangMedic. I mean, MustangMedic, I'm not talking third person. I talk MustangMedic that it's the vision of reporting the truth. I am called the medic and Mustang and all this stuff because I've been doing all these videos, but I really don't want to make it about me, which is kind of funny saying that while I'm on the camera, going la, 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 la. And don't worry, I talked to my psychologist about it too. Because I was like, is this ego that I do these videos, or is it because I have a vision? And we both decided it's because I have a vision. So psychologists are always right. That's what I choose. So if you go to the Amazon link, which will either be on the donation page or be on the main page of realmustangmedic.com, and then you're shopping for 24 hours, you're hooking us up and helping us out. So we're trying to set up as many financial streams so I can continue to do this full time. At the moment, it's a walk with God because I don't know right now if I'm going to be able to continue to do this. I was always saying in DC, when I run out of money, God's going to move me on. Well, I'm not looking forward to moving on from this level at the moment because it could be a lot worse. So I give God all the glory and all the praise that I'm able to do this with you here today. And on the subject of those videos, a message from MustangMedic, the playlist about depression, that what I learned, and I think this is important for if any of you are struggling with depression, and there are a lot doing it right now. A lot of it's because of the isolation of the jab that was going on for almost a year and a half. Everybody got isolated, and that's a good way to get depressed. This is a way to fight depression. And if you're depressed, I know it's very hard even to hear it, because you've given up. I know the feeling. Is that when you focus on the past, on what you wanted to change, it's going to bring you down. If you focus on the future, then what happens is you have anxiety of what's going to happen because it doesn't look good. When you're depressed, 95% or 90%, for me, 90%, is what's going to go wrong. You got a 10% chance of it going right. When you get back to where I'm at now, 90% is going to go right, 10% is going to go wrong. So it's a complete turnaround in perspective. And it took me 2.5 years. So if you're early on in this, don't judge yourself. Don't think you got to go 2.5 years. Everybody's got a different experience. But if you can stay present, and I talk about this in Isolation Kills on YouTube. There's a link on realmustangmedic.com at the bottom. It says, "Are you depressed?" You can click on that. It'll take you right to Isolation Kills, or you can search Isolation Kills on YouTube. And I've got a bunch of videos when I got out of the last depression and talked about the techniques that I was able to do. It's a deep dive in trying to in focusing on getting out of depression. So if you stay present, like we are now, you can stay clear. You're dealing with the immediate issues, and you don't have the anxiety of being in the past or the future. That's a quick little thing. Okay, it takes 12 seconds for me to get messages from you. So what I want to do is I want to focus on questions mostly this morning, and then I'll talk about history, because Lord knows you guys know I can talk. And this is set for an hour and a half. The monitor will turn off if I go an hour and a half. Not planning on doing that. Nor do I expect you to give me an hour and a half today. But if you do, that's cool. That's great. But if you don't, I understand. I won't take it personally. Not really. Just kidding. All right. So give me questions, and I'll answer the best I can. Current events. There's so many current events going on right now. If I start talking about it right now, I won't focus on the questions that you guys have. So does anybody have a question for me that you want me to cover? While I'm waiting, what I will talk about is that we have a video going out on President Trump and this whole, this court case that was predetermined that he was going to get hit. Man, the man's taking hits. You got the video on Bill O'Reilly talking about President Trump, giving him advice, a little harsh. I like Bill. I respect Bill. And I question the whole thing, the accusations that took him off Fox News. But the man does have a conservative point of view. And I really have a hard time. I don't think I've ever disagreed with what he talks about. We think very much alike, Bill O'Reilly and I. He's just got a bigger audience. He's going to be somewhat critical on President Trump, which, again, we're going to keep doing it. We're going to just keep reporting the truth, no matter what it costs us. There's a video that's very supportive of President Trump, because I realize I'm sitting there going, I'm covering all these stories and all these people and all these things that are going on. And I haven't done a lot of videos that are just about President Trump and how much I appreciate him and support him, which, believe me, some people question that. And I'm like, how can you question that? Okay, question from Doug Crosby. How do we find politician oath of office is actually signed? Thank you. How do we find the politician oath of office is actually signed? Oh man, you know what, Doug? You stumped me. I don't know. I'll look into that when I start going through answering all these chats. I'll dig into it, and that might be a good subject matter for a new video. I didn't even know that they signed it. I know they put their hand on the Bible, which most of them don't believe probably, and swear an oath, but I don't know that they actually sign it. Oh. Talk about my double. Before things are scheduled, there's potential. There's a lot of exciting stories and interviews that are set up. But this is kind of a clue of a possible interview. It hasn't happened. It's not scheduled. I talked to a friend of his. He seems to be very excited about me doing an interview. I look just like him. I want to see if you guys can guess first. I look just like him. We're the same height. He wears a cowboy hat. And his is official. Mine is just kind of MustangMedic. I work on Ford Mustang. So I put a bunch of patches on the arms. Hang on, let me turn this one around. Oh man, there you go. Ford Mustang, Cobra, American flag. And then DC. I actually put this on even though I never wore it outside, because I would have looked too much like them, because there's 121 police, what the heck is it called? Police forces. There's 121 police forces in DC, because they're buildings. STP, of course, Ford Mustangs, and then Ford, and then DC. So I would have looked like a poser if I would have been walking around DC like this. Probably would have gotten shot or something. All right, looking at what you guys got. It's big news Mustang. It is big news? Okay, all right, Doug. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Demoralization process. It's part of the I think I looked into that. Again, it's kind of a theory. I can't prove anything around it, so I haven't done a video on it. Moonlight Melmo. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well this weekend. Yep. The way I report stories is it has to be, I have to be able to prove it. Now, when I do interviews, it's a different story because the person that I'm interviewing, I don't know where they're going. With Roger Stone, which, if you haven't seen that interview, I really recommend you see it. It's a great interview. If I do say so myself. I always say they're great interviews when I do less talking. But Roger talked about his history. I superimposed a lot of images of what, to get you to understand that how long he's been in politics, which I was like 2 years old. So what an honor to interview him and for him to be on our channel. The guy's known by most of the country. He's friends with President Trump and he's friends with me. So that's like a really neat connection. You never know, I don't know. I've never known anybody that's been rated that I can call a friend that's been rated by the FBI, that's known by millions, and was willing to be on our little channel at this time. So it's a real stepping stone for us to have Roger on as an interviewee. He's the most famous person that I've ever interviewed. And I'm now starting to get involved with people that are running for Senate. I've done it before, but I'm looking at potentially potentially the senators that are running for Arizona. I've got potential interviews with them. Say it that way. And again, even with Roger, I was very careful not to talk about it when we scheduled it. We scheduled it 3 weeks ahead of time, and I didn't want to. I don't know. You never know because somebody can say they're going to do an interview and then they don't happen. So I don't want to set up expectations that I can't fulfill. Do you do Mustang restorations? Time to watch. Maybe you jumped in a little bit late. I used to work on Ford Mustangs. It's the uniform MustangMedic. That's where the name came from. I back in June of 2011, which is what, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, June 2011. I'm in marketing. I'm in advertising. That's what I've done most of my life, 35 years of my life. So what I did was the way I started a company, and I've started 4 of them. Again, I could talk about that history tonight, but I started 4 of them. And what I do is I search for a domain first before I name the company. And I used to be an EMT for a little while of my life, and a firefighter, a volunteer firefighter, paid EMT. I loved it. I just loved helping people that way. It was neat. It was very action oriented. Plus, I got to wear my Batman belt, like the belt I wore with my kilt in DC. I'm not doing the kilt anymore, guys. If I do the kilt, it's God knows what I'm thinking. I'm not planning on doing the kilt anymore. I look at those old videos and I'm like, what was I thinking? But I had a shop. It was 9,000 square feet. I had 5 employees. And what was unique about my shop, it was in Palm Springs, California first, and then it was in Cathedral City, which is a town right next to Palm Springs, California, which is, it's the desert. It's beautiful. They've got a promenade, so there's stuff to do. And most people around there are very happy. It's kind of a vacation town. But I expanded to a 9,000 square foot shop with 6 employees, 27 active projects, all Ford Mustangs. I had an MG once. Well, that was another story. But it was almost all Ford Mustangs, MustangMedic. And my favorite Mustang, before you ask, is the 1969 Fastback. Of course, it would be the Boss, but I would take just anybody who wants to give away a rusty old 69 Fastback. I'll drive it around and be happy, more happy than a brand new car, more happy than even the newest Mustang, which I owned for a little while. I had a 2020, had to sell it, restarting. But the 69 Fastback, I think, is one of the most awesome bodies that I've ever seen. If it was a woman, I'd probably, no, I'm not going to say that. I'd probably marry her, but that's very superficial. Anyway, Mustangs are the bomb. The kilt, the kilt was amazing. Liberty Mom, really? That's funny. Don't get me going, because I was wearing that in El Natural, so it was very, very comfortable, especially during the summer. I totally understand wearing kilts. I mean, if everybody's wearing a kilt, I'd be totally into kilts. But I don't know. Maybe someday. It was very comfortable. I'll just say that. That's about all I'll say about that. All right. So not seeing many questions right now. So, what to talk about? Oh my gosh, I'm at a loss of words. Isn't that shocking? FISA will bring down everything with the document that is from Caroline. Got to get the heart out of the way first. There's the heart. There you go. There you go. See all the hearts. FISA will bring down everything with the document that was released. Not found. I guess there was a conversation going on. It was the kilt that threw me off. Occam razor. It's okay. I don't know what to talk about right now. Edit. I'm trying to think of the upcoming projects. I'm going to talk about a lot of things we got going on. You can join a membership now. We have a membership on YouTube that if you pick the top tier, you get to donate to us monthly, which is, of course, a great help. And what you do is we're going to do Zoom meetings that you can go on with us. I'm not predicting like thousands right now, but I'm predicting like 10 to 15 to 20 people probably. So it's going to be a small, intimate group, I think. And right now what we're offering is doing a Zoom call. Everybody gets on the Zoom call and we talk about the actual details of the project, get feedback from you of what you think should be investigated, what's good about the idea, what's bad about the idea. So you're actually a team member with us on YouTube with private messages, private videos, which it's creating a lot more work, but it's because I appreciate those of you that are willing to become members and support us monthly. It's if I've got one person or if I got 20 people, I'm going to fulfill my promise and deliver unique content for members. You get badges when you chat showing that you're a supporter of this seeking the truth message. And the other things, it's all listed. If you click the join, I think it's a join button underneath the videos, probably underneath this one. And you can see the details. It's 3 tiers, but the third tier, the highest tier, is where it gets real intimate and working on projects together. Basically, you're doing what Mario and I do, but you're with us online. And I do a lot of Zoom calls too with people now that are not interviews necessarily, but this is going to be a specific group once a week, I think, maybe twice a week, but once a week guaranteed, that we'll be talking about what's going to come up next week. I'm trying to get videos now, which is very unusual for me. When I get done a video, I get so excited about it that I want to release it immediately. But what I'm finding is it's important how you land on the feed. So East Coast, we're looking at 6 o'clock. So that means Mountain Time is around 4 o'clock. Oh my gosh, I got it right. And then 3 o'clock on the Pacific Time. So 3 to 6 is our window of coming out. If you guys coming out meaning putting a video up so it comes up on your feed and you see it, because a lot of people that are subscribed out of the 160,000 that are subscribed to this channel don't know we're back. So I'm trying to get influencers to remain nameless to actually tell people that I'm back. I'm meeting a lot of resistance against that, which I find amazing because We're not in competition together. It's not, I mean, there's so many people online, a lot of people doing this. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a phone call. Jimmy, if you're watching, I'll call you back. Oh man, there you go. Okay, no phone calls. I put on privacy with my phone. Dialing it in. But um, see, I got distracted. Gosh darn it. What was I talking about? You guys all know, but I'm not thinking of it. Time to watch. No, I'm not based in DC right now. I got canceled out of DC November of 21, which was rocking and rolling. They closed my financial accounts. My PayPal was a main account for me. I guess I was getting about $600 a week donations, and it was allowing me, even though I couldn't pay the rent for the last couple of months because the view counts was dropping because the interest in President Trump coming back was fading. People were starting to realize that many influencers were lying to them, unfortunately. And I did videos March 15th of 21, standing in front of the Capitol because President Trump was supposed to come back, and I'm like, nope, nobody's here. Which a lot of people didn't appreciate the truth because they wanted to be in their echo chamber. But again, I was doing the same thing I'm doing now. I'm just going to keep reporting the truth, no matter what it costs us. I'm saying that often because it's costing a lot. But I couldn't pay the bills. DC is so liberal that when you're in I was in a top floor of a building because I was trying to get double layer security. Cost more money. Double layer security for my two girls, so it'd be harder for people to get to them. I was very concerned about that at the time. I wasn't very popular in a district that's 97% Democrat, and I was walking around with a cowboy hat. My best disguise was just not wearing a cowboy hat and a baseball cap. Nobody recognized me. But I could be in a store and they'd be like, MustangMedic. I'm like, it was very surreal. So I had to leave DC in November. It triggered a major depression. I was dark for 2.5 years. I call that my dark times. No posting, nothing. Actually, I watched a lot of YouTube videos and still learned because I wasn't watching a lot of YouTube. I did when I was depressed. But now that I'm back, I'm watching less than and doing more creation of videos. So I'm in Arizona now. Casa Grande is the town. And I'm doing political commentary like this. I did not have a studio set up. Do you guys like it? Check it out. Arizona flag, American flag in the center, of course. And then we got the DC flag. So it's kind of like I'm in Arizona now, and I'm potentially going to be back in DC. Man makes plans, God laughs. So I'm in Arizona doing political commentary. I've been invited out to Phoenix to a group of people that want to meet me or have seen the videos and watch the videos. So I might be going to Phoenix with an Uber to meet up with them. I've got an invite. I haven't checked my email. The email is intel@realmustangmedic.com. I've got an invite to go to the southern border with them, and I don't know them. So it's like, living life on the edge. But I'm going to talk to them, get a sense of them, do a Zoom call, and then potentially go with them to the border and do videos. I did border videos at McAllen, Texas, 2 months after President Obama, Freudian slip, because Obama's in control. But President Biden, he was in for 2 months while everybody was denying that he's in there, saying he's an actor, but he was in there. And I know some people still believe he's an actor. Don't take offense. I can't prove that he's an actor, so therefore I'm not going to think he's an actor. Got to prove it. Like Reagan said, trust but verify. So we did McAllen, Texas, and there's a playlist you can watch, and it shows everything that was going on 2 months after Biden got in is happening now, except in bigger numbers. Mostly because they're in the country now, and in under 4 months, many of them, of these 8.5 million people, I believe, can't prove this, but I believe that the 8.5 million now have social security numbers because most of them have been going in the country. They've been inundating the country for 3.5 years. So they have social security numbers. They're going to vote. So the Democrats have guaranteed probably at least 8 million. But again, there's 46 million illegal people in our country. Try to really wrap your mind around that. I think we have 330, maybe 340 million people in the United States that are citizens. I'm a citizen. I'm assuming you're a citizen. If you're not, do it legal. Go, I understand you wanting to be here. Of course you want to be here. Who wouldn't want to be in America? It is the greatest country in the world. I said it, and I'm proud of it. I don't care what you think. I don't think, call me a nationalist, call me an elitist, whatever you want to do. I live in the best country in the world right now in this moment in 2024. Feels good to say that. I don't care about the hits I'm going to take. These people that don't like our country, come on. If you don't like the house you're in, you got to move. Just move. Don't complain. Don't whine. Don't create your own anthem because you hate the country. Just move if you don't want to be here. If you don't want to accept that the national anthem is a unifying message to all Americans. It's a unifying message to all Americans. So don't be coming up with your own anthem. You've already taken over the NFL. Everybody's going woke for like 3% of the population, and they're all making a mistake. Bud Light is a great example of the power we have as consumers. So if you can't stand CNN or MSNBC, or even if you're mad at Fox News, if you see people selling out, don't watch. Or if you do watch, don't buy from their advertisers. So their advertisers, I was in marketing and advertising. If they're putting in like 10, 20 grand into a spot, which is, some of these, it's amazing to get that much money. Because CNN, I think, has got an audience of like 500,000. And what is, Tucker's got millions. Russell Brand's got millions. Joe Rogan's got millions. I'm watching a lot of what they do for content to try to I guess I'm kind of emulating them because they obviously know what they're doing is the amount of views they got. I even changed the picture. I don't know if you guys noticed I did this last night. I didn't announce it to everybody because, it's a headshot. But instead of using the MustangMedic logo, I used a picture of me because I'm looking at it and like, okay, Joe Rogan, Russell Brand, everybody. I'm not saying I've got that kind of recognition right now. Obviously not. But I want to like learn from people that have been successful at it. Makes sense, right? So I took out the logo, put a picture of my face in there, and let me know what your opinion is. If you think it's egotistical, you don't have to tell me. I know that it's a challenge, that it could be egotistical, but I wanted to, emulate those people they're huge, because we're going to get huge. In Jesus' name, amen. The truth shall prevail. The truth shall prevail, and the truth will set you free. I read that somewhere. That's sarcasm. It's a Bible. All right, let me get my glasses on because I was ranting. Yes, we've got a similar to GoFundMe page or campaign, which is on the donation page. Would you be more comfortable with looking at a GoFundMe? I'm not sure. I'd be interested. Occam's razor. I love my country, my government as a whole. Such I don't trust any government, especially our own. God save us. Oscar Razor, you're a United States citizen? I can't remember if you're in the UK or if you're US. Whether you're in the UK or whether you're in the US, if you love your country, good. We all should love our countries. I mean, that's where we live. Oh, Liberty Mom, thank you for liking the picture. I appreciate it. Monkey Works proved all the military age men were put into place. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard about these military from China, and I don't know how much are from the Middle East, but I'm glad to hear that he's proved it. I would like to please send me that link via email at intel@realmustangmedic.com. I'd like to look at the proof that he has, because I'll report on it too. Back in the saddle again. Thank you, Fallon. I could do my Elvis Presley imitation. When I've got these things in my ears, I hear exactly what the microphone's sounding like. Does my sound good? Give me 4 thumbs up. The emojis, 4 thumbs up. If the sound is good. If the sound is bad, it's crackling, or it's too low, give me thumbs down. 4 thumbs down emojis. That's how we communicate on our chats on these live streams. Chatter Matters salute. Oh, good. The sound's good. Good. We're dialing it in. We're dialing it in. This mic was like $170, and you know who you are. Thank you for donating the money to allow us to buy a mic. It's gotten to that point. You know what I mean? When I first started out in Washington D.C., I was just like, I went from 15,000 subscribers with like 75. I guess it's 7,500 videos of Ford Mustang restoration. I got there. I shot a video of the buses. I had 15,000 people on a live stream, my first live stream. And within 2 or 3 days, it was either CNN because they were mocking me and trying to make me to sound like I was a QAnon, an anon. Not that there's anything wrong with being an anon. Anons follow QAnon. That's how it's defined. There's black hats and there's white hats. I consider myself a white hat, a good guy. Why? Yes, I don't acknowledge all the tunnel things, and no, I recognize that Biden's in there, and we feel differently. I understand, but we're both information seekers. So don't kill the messenger. Don't kill the messenger. I'm going to find out what I can find out, and I'm going to prove it to you. If I don't have proof, I'm not going to do it. And if you're going to send me an email with something you truly believe in that's going on, and you're going to send it to intel@realmustangmedic.com, send me links, not to other people that do this online, but actual evidence that I can prove. And you'll see a video focused on that with a shout out, because I don't think I've yet found anything true to come out of those drops. It's all theory. I don't call it conspiracy theory, because when people say conspiracy theory, they're discounting it and saying it's not real. It's not real. It's not real. You've heard it on the media. Oh, it's a conspiracy theory. CNN, the conspiracy of the jab and da-da-da-da-da. They're just trying to discount it. They got an agenda. So I call them theories. So if you hear me say conspiracy theory, you'll know that I've proven it not true. And of course, I'll say that because that's what I do. All right. Ron, I think you're talking about my story from 2021. Yes. Ron, do you know who caught the arrest of Congress at the night in D.C. with all the military and buses? Okay. This is what I know. I'm the one that shot the video. I was the only one there. Everybody else that's got an opinion on it or watermarked my videos and taken the audio out and then made believe they were there, I'm the one that shot it. I've got video proof of it. It's time-stamped. You can see it in the playlist before you question me whether I shot it or not. I'm telling you the truth. It's in the playlist, time-stamped, 3-part series. You can check it out. I often link that playlist in the back of these videos on YouTube. And let me know what you think of the endings that I'm doing now with the long thing. I'm getting criticized on all the other formats because there's no icons there like it is on YouTube. So I'm thinking about cutting them out and just cutting with me saying William Wieting reporting from MustangMedic. Cut. Let me know what you think about that. The buses. All I know to be true about the buses is what I saw. And I saw everything I saw, even when I was getting interviewed by CNN while I was doing the live stream, which was kind of comical, which I think might be the reason I got the 165,000 followers overnight, because they did plug. I never saw the video till like about 3 weeks ago that was shot that long ago. But they did put they had to legally put MustangMedic on YouTube. So people might have freeze framed that little, I think they had it up there for 3 seconds. As short as they could, because they had to do legally, they had to give me credit because it was my stuff, my videos they were using. All I know about the buses is this. About 6 Capitol policemen were near me to my left, and they were just standing there watching the buses going by. And I said to them, what's going on? I think I said, what's going on? If you watch the videos, you'll know exactly what I said. But I addressed them, and he mentioned they wanted my ID. I'm not one of these people with sovereignty. Oh, you can't have my ID. I don't care. They can check me out. I don't have anything to hide. Plus, they already know everything with facial recognition, and with the Patriot Act basically gave us. We lost all freedoms. Thank you, George W. Bush, for that. That's obviously sarcasm now that we're in the information age and no one has any privacy. I could talk about that today. I'll talk about that this morning. He said it was an operation. And at the time, I'm sorry. I know I'm getting calls and everything, but I can't take calls right now. That's coming through my watch. Um, I'm assuming they're watching. Maybe they're not watching, just calling me randomly. Um, the He called in an operation. There were no bomb sniffing dogs checking out the buses, which I had videoed other buses coming in later, like a couple weeks later, and there was always bomb sniffing dogs around the buses as they went in. The windows were tinted black, all of them, every bus. Even in there was like a school bus, a military bus. There was some odd looking cars that went in, odd looking trucks, including those big giant buses with generic logos on them. Some had no logos. All of the companies that logos that were on the buses. I'm an art director, which means I design graphics. I always have. That's kind of why everything looks the way it looks. They were generic on the buses. They were not recognizable brands. Or nothing I've ever seen. Not Greyhound. Nothing, which is again suspicious. They all started coming in. I don't know. I got there at 11:30. So they were already coming in because I was alerted by the viewers. I don't remember how they alerted me. It was probably via text or it was Telegram or I don't remember what it was, but I was alerted by the viewers that there was noise at the Capitol. I was about to leave and go back to New Jersey because the money was running out again. And I said, I'm going to leave in 2 days. I'm 5 minutes away from the Capitol. It's 11:30 at night. I might as well walk there and see if it's true. I didn't think it was true. I was like, this is just, another one of these stories. But I went. And so you can see from the playlist, I started seeing the buses. It's shaken a lot. I apologize. It drove people crazy, but it was an iPhone 10, and they don't have the technology they have now with smoothing everything out. And I got a 12 Pro, and I got a 12 Pro Max that I use. I got those phones when I was in DC making decent money, and I still have them, fortunately. So I got the Pro Max. I got the Pro here. I'm using the video production for the 12 Pro Max because it's fast. I can grab video clips quick, better quality, and I didn't even know it. I wasn't even using it because it was so big and cumbersome. I'm like, I got to use it as a camera now because it's great. The way it downloads videos. It used to take forever to download videos. Back to the buses. So the buses kept coming in, no bomb sniffing dogs, tinted windows, couldn't see if anybody was in the buses. Couldn't even see the drivers, and then they didn't have tinted windows, but you couldn't recognize it was at night. They were funneling in until I was there till 2:30 in the morning. I was freezing my tail off. It was pretty darn cold in January in DC. Not here in Arizona. You could hang out with a t-shirt here, but it's a convection oven during the summer. It's horrible how hot it is here. I'm not digging it. Hotter than Palm Springs. Must be closer to the equator. The buses all went in. The Capitol Police called in an operation, and at the time I wasn't investigating like I am now. If I hear something, I tried to dig in right away. If a person starts sharing something with me, I'm like, give me what can I investigate? What can I investigate? At the time, I was just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's happening? And of course, I was, with everybody that had a theory, and especially, a lot of the QAnon people were like, oh my gosh, this guy's on the ground. So it was pretty huge. It got 15,000 people watching. That was huge for me. First live stream ever after producing 7,500 videos. And I left at 2:30. During the CNN interview, they were interviewing me and they said, can you tell me if you think that President Biden's going to get inaugurated today? And I'm like, I was like this. I'm like going, I gotta be honest. They're gonna have CNN's gonna have a field day with this, but I gotta be honest. And I was like, I laughed. You'll see it. It's on video. I laughed and I go, no, I don't think he's gonna get inaugurated. And they're like, say what? And they love that. That's what they wanted. The guy with the cowboy hat at night, videoing the buses, wondering what's going on. And CNN at that time, this reporter, I think he might be with CNN, but he's not doing anything big right now. He was all about QAnon. They were focusing on the Trump supporters that believe in all these conspiracy theories, and playing it all up. But then again, CNN is such propaganda that they want to squash anybody that's seeking information because they just want you to watch them and they want you to tell you what to believe. We all know that. MSNBC, Joy Reid, makes my head explode. Who else is there that's on MSNBC? What's her name? Is it Joy Reid Maddow? I can't remember her first name. Anyway, they're just, the agenda there is just beyond anything that I can deal with. All right, so I guess that summarizes. Anybody that says anything else about that night is just making it up, because that's what I know, that's what I saw, and there was no other information to be given. I was there on the ground. And I want to go back on the ground again in DC. I know for sure that it's hurting right now not being in DC for me. I see people in DC getting incredible views with videos that have no real substance to them. They're just the street. And I understand people wanting to see that town. And I understand that crime is up like 40%, and I might die, a martyr, as they say, if I go back there. But God is leading me to there. With the exception of finances, if I had all the finances, I probably would. I don't know if I couldn't get there sooner because my daughter is 17 and she's in high school. And she doesn't want to leave. She's got all her friends here. She's 17. We've all been 17 once. I don't think there's any 17-year-olds on here. My demographic is mostly women between 45 and 75 plus. 45% is men. I do find that more women than men are focused on the current events of what's actually happening right now at the moment. I understand. When I wasn't into politics, I was just working on Ford Mustangs. I wasn't concentrating on what was going on with all the craziness with Obama. I did get very upset with Benghazi, though. Benghazi was a really big upset. As big of an upset as it was Biden getting out of Afghanistan. One, because Obama and Hillary let them die, those 4 people. And then when Hillary was getting in this Senate hearing, she's just, oh, it's just 4 people. It's like, ugh, really? So I feel really bad about the military that had to die because they wouldn't send in backups in Benghazi. So remember Benghazi. Afghanistan, total screw up. I think we lost 13 soldiers due to a missile strike against a person that was not even an enemy combatant, and a family of Afghans died. And also, my heart really went out to the Afghan people, because there was a lot of them. I don't know how many thousands of them were translators for American soldiers. They were hated. I mean, they were hated. A sniper, American Sniper, I think is what it's called. If you watch that movie, it really gives you a sense of how much they were risking by, was it American Sniper, or was it, oh man, I can't remember the name of that movie. Maybe it'll come to me. I'll talk about it tonight. I'll figure it out, and I'll probably talk about it tonight. But all these Afghans that were helping us, a lot of them were not airlifted out to America. There was even American citizens that were still there. They were abandoned there by Biden's administration. So the whole pullout. Now, there's a lot of questions about all the Afghans running around that giant jet that was taking out. They say it's retouched. I can't prove that. I've seen people reporting that it's retouched. I've seen people reporting that it's not retouched. My sense is that it's not retouched. I actually reposted that. I think it's actually true. I could see them desperately trying to grab onto the plane. And even as the plane's taking off, there's people falling off of it because they were terrified of the Taliban. And what happened? Taliban, but they took over before we even got our last plane out. Thank you, Joe Biden, for embarrassing our country, selling out the American people, getting military people killed, and betraying the people that were loyal to us, hoping. I mean, when we do that and we go back in again, because, if a Nikki Haley gets in, we'll be back in Afghanistan. I don't think she's going to get in. She doesn't have a snowball's chance in heck. It's going to be President Trump. The question is who's he going to be competing against for the presidency? And if you watch the Roger Stone interview, there's a teaser, although I did put it in the headline. I put it in the headline, I'll tell you. He thinks it's going to be Michelle Obama. Now, I know you guys are going to go off on the whole Michael thing and everything. I'm not going to go there. And yeah, I've seen clips that make you go, If I was actually designing this, that HMMM would go across the top like I do. But I just don't want to go there. It's just too much. I'm very suspicious, like most of us are. And I've seen those pictures. I don't know if they're retouched or not. Occam's razor. My first car was a 1986 Mustang, a Fox body, right? 302. You miss it? Yeah, I understand. Was it a stick? I always ask that because I love sticks. I love manual transmissions. I'm old school that way. They even designed in SEMA, which is a show every year with really high end cars. They even designed a 4-speed electric Mustang. I mean, it's all simulated, obviously, but it's kind of cool in a way. Pay to play Clinton Foundation. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. The 21 gun salute was a dead giveaway. Got only 3 cannons, military funeral. It must be a conversation. I don't know what that means right now. Okay. I don't know. Should we wrap this up? Where are we at? I didn't look at the time. We're only at a. Wait a minute. What time is it? We started at what time? What time did we start? 10:30? Has it been an hour? Tell me, guys. Have we already talked an hour? I forgot to set my stopwatch on my watch. Anyway, maybe it's time to close. Any more questions before I close? It's been an hour. It hasn't been an hour and a half. The screen's still on. When it goes black, I know I've gone too long. What do you guys think of the new set? Yeah? Yeah? All right, wait. I think I've got a question. Again, guys, if you got a question, put it in all caps. When is Trump coming back? He's coming back when he wins the election. People have been talking about President Trump coming back since the day Joe Biden got inaugurated. He got inaugurated. I saw a video from a citizen journalist. I couldn't get in there from the top of the building where the press was, and they had very little access, but he did get inaugurated. And I had to admit that on CNN, which a lot of people said, don't do the CNN interview. They're going to use it against you, which they did, but I promised I would go back, so I did. It was interesting having a whole CNN crew around me, 2 different lighting people, boom mic, the reporter. It's kind of cool. I was like, I want to do this. I might get a job in DC as a part-time reporter and also do this because I want to be unfiltered, if you will. Once you start making a salary, and you're making, especially these guys, I mean, even Tucker had to follow Fox's rules for the most part. He didn't, which is they got rid of him, which I appreciate about him. Anybody that hates the message, anybody that really wants to stop you from talking, I deal with this, you know that you're doing something right. That's why President Trump's so popular, because they are just going after him like gangbusters. He doesn't need to do this. Like O'Reilly said, it's not about him, it's about the country. That's kind of the harsh feedback he gave to President Trump. It's not about him. Again, I don't really think it's about him personally, because who would put up with this? If they've got millions of, I don't think he's got billions, but if he's got millions of dollars, he could play golf. He could chill out with people that love him. And, there's a lot of people that love him, although the media doesn't want you to know that. The mainstream media, not necessarily the new media, although there's a lot of new media that hate him, of course. But why would he do it? Why would anybody do it? Why would, what is his motivation? I mean, if he's motivated, even if it's self-focused, we need him. We need the bull in the china shop right now. I mean, 4 more years of Biden, I don't know if the country can survive it. I can't see it. And then we got to remember, we can't assume because how bad Biden is. Most of us that are on here know how bad Biden is. We have to get him in there because it's the wrecking ball that we need. Justice needs to prevail. And what we need is 12 years of conservative rule. And I say that by rule is because when the Democrats are in, they rule. Look at what they get away with. I mean, finally, Shifty Shift got censured, but of course the Democrats are kumbaya. And you can see that on the video that we recently did. It's an Adam Schiff, only one Adam Schiff video. There's only one Liz Cheney video. When people get on your nerves, they don't tend to want to watch them or even watch people criticize them. Some do. But I did a video on Shifty Shift, and he, I realize when I think I don't look, I'm constantly going there. When he got sanctioned, they did a kumbaya moment, and they all surrounded him and hugged him and gave him praise and credit for lying. And they didn't care. They did it on the floor of the House. C-SPAN's covering it, and they did not care. Congress people that are in Congress, once they're in Congress, they are allowed to lie and not get sued for it. They can say anything they want to say about anybody, and they can lie like Adam Schiff, and that's why they're still in office. I did a video on that too. AOC, I mean, look at Omar, look at these people. Look at what they're doing. They don't care. And the reason they're protected on Congress is because the executive branch, the president, could be, what they would do is they would have their political opponents sued to oblivion and get them out. So they set up protection in the Constitution for the Congress that they can say anything they want to say at no risk of getting sued. And at that time, I believe when they did the Constitution, is they were assuming people were going to be honest and they weren't going to lie. But now it's been so abused that that's why Congress has such a low. It is an hour. It is an hour and a half. Man, I can talk. Can't believe it. If you're still here or you're watching later, this, I appreciate your interest in what I do, what we do. It's always R and it's always we. When I get to I and I say I too much, then it's about me. And it's not about me, it's about the message. I'm going to sign off, guys. I'm going to look for one more question. One more question I'm going to answer, and then I'm going to sign off. It will take decades to repair. Trump's media and technology merger. Happy to see you back doing it. Thank you, Liberty Mom. I appreciate it. I really do. All right. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you're caring enough to watch this live stream. We are in perilous times. This isn't to alarm people. It's to motivate them to activate into being politically involved. I talk about being center-leaning right, and I do that intentionally because I want you as a Democrat and as a liberal, if you're on here, it's doubtful, but when you are, even when you come after me for, thinking everything is true about what the mainstream media says about President Trump, I thank them for at least being on and watching and commenting that they care enough to comment to hate me, if that makes any sense. Because at least they're watching and receiving input of something different than what the algorithms and the echo chamber is feeding them. Because that's what's happening right now in this day and age. We're all being individualized. Zuckerberg knows it, from Facebook especially. And by the way, they monitor you off of Facebook at the same time. It's pretty scary what's going on with how much we're being monitored. If you think you got to have any privacy, don't have a TV or an Alexa or a computer in the room. Wrap it with copper, and you're probably going to be safe. That's how bad it's getting. But whether you're liberal or you're Democrat or you don't agree and you're watching and you're giving feedback, that's what we want to do. Even though I'm wearing a cowboy hat and kind of a pseudo police, uniform, don't judge the book by the cover. That's kind of why I was wearing the kilt. This is William Wieting, getting ready to sign off. I appreciate all of you, and we'll be back tonight. I think it's 5 o'clock. I'm pretty sure it's 5 o'clock, but there's a second live stream. Click on it, add to the waiting list, watch the Roger Stone interview. I want to make sure that not only does it get a lot of views just for Roger's sake, but also it's a great message what Roger shares. And he's grounded. He's been around a long time, a lot longer than most of us in politics. He cares about our country, and it's a great interview because I wasn't talking very much. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Again, my phone is ringing again, which is interesting. All numbers I don't recognize. Thank you for watching, and God bless. See you tonight. I'm going to try to reach around and not get in front of the lens. Bye.